how to run a remote cleaning business. So in today's video, we're going to be going into part 3, talking about virtual assistants. So running a remote cleaning business is a fantastic thing, but ultimately you as the business owner are still going to be doing the day-to-day running of the business. So things get super interesting when you bring in a virtual assistant, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So there are 3 key things that I wanted to cover off. So first of all, we need to make sure that we have got our marketing and recruitment processes completely nailed down. So in parts 1 and 2 of this video series, we talk specifically about marketing and recruitment. And the reason why this is really important is that, if you as the business owner aren't sure, the process of how to manage clients or how to onboard new clients or how to price new jobs, or on the other side, how to recruit cleaners, how to manage those cleaners, it's going to be an impossible task hiring a virtual assistant to do that for you. So we need to be able to have clarity around how we manage both the client side and the cleaner side. And we don't want to hire a virtual assistant too early. We need to have got comfortable with these processes. We need to be getting consistency as well with our growth. We need to get a good idea of the typical types of things, the typical types of problems that come up when managing jobs. And we want to get a bit of consistency around our growth. We want to getting our revenue growing each month. We want to be hiring new clients, hiring new cleaners. And once we get to that point, then that is when we can start to think about recruiting our virtual assistant to help run the day-to-day business for us. So it's really, really important not to hire too early. Get your marketing and recruitment nailed down, then think about your virtual assistant. So step 2 is putting together your system and processes document, your SOP document. And what I mean by this is that, when you are running your cleaning business, every single day, there will be many, many tasks that you go through as the business owner if you're managing for the business. It might be, how do we, a client calls in, how do we price this job? Or we get a client who is complaining about our service, how do we deal with that complaint? Or we get a cleaner that's calling in sick and saying she can't work today, how do we deal with that? So there are numerous tasks that are happening in your cleaning business every single day. And what we need to do in step 2 is get what's in our brain and put that down onto paper. And this is what the SOP document is. It needs to be as exhaustive a list of tasks in your business as possible. I always tell people to open up a Google Doc, a Microsoft Word document, and look at both the client side and the cleaner side. And when you are in the business, every day, just jot down the types of things that you're getting asked. And what you'll start to see is that the same types of tasks come up every day. There may be some additional ones that are a bit more unusual, but certainly things like pricing and dealing with client jobs and scheduling jobs and all those types of things will come up every single day. So in that SOP document, we need to make sure that we get to a position where if X happens, we do Y. If a client calls asking for a price, we then ask about the size of the property. We then ask about how regularly they want their property cleaned, which zip codes they're in. There needs to be all these step-by-step things that we need to do when some task is initiated. And the reason why this SOP document is really, really important is because in effect, this will be the instruction manual that we give to our new virtual assistants when they start working with us. It is no point hiring a virtual assistant and just saying, can you just help me with some client emails, or can you help me take calls? That is a recipe for disaster. They need to be shown, what to do and how to do it, and it will make life easier for you as the business owner, and it will make the life easier for them as the virtual assistant. So step 2 is we need to get what's in our brain onto paper, get all our key systems and processes down. And this should be an evolving document, a document that gets bigger and more sophisticated with time as more and more tasks, as you come across more and more tasks. And again, this will just help when you are handing over the day-to-day running of your business to your virtual assistants. So step 3 is then to actually go and hire the VA. We've got the SOP document, we've got all our marketing and recruitment key systems set up. So we then need to go and hire a VA. There's a couple of things that we need to think about. So firstly, are we looking for someone who's local to us or in the same country, or do we hire an overseas VA? Generally, the overseas VAs tends to be cheaper, but you'll need to make that call. There are lots and lots of freelancer websites where you get virtual assistants advertising their services. Upwork is a very, very popular one, so I'd be looking there and looking through VAs there and looking to hire from that. But really, I would say with a VA, you don't need to hire them on a full-time basis to begin with. Hire them part-time, maybe a few hours a week. And the way I tell people to do it is to try to give them lower risk tasks first. So when I talk about lower risk tasks, I'm thinking about tasks that, if they don't do it properly or it goes wrong, it's not going to have a hugely detrimental impact on your business. So maybe say putting together a spreadsheet and looking at, outstanding invoices or things like that. A higher risk task would be a client calls in with a complaint, and that needs to be dealt with delicately, because if the client complains and then decides to cancel, you get a financial impact from that. So start with part-time VAs. As they prove themselves, give them more and more hours, and give them higher risk tasks. And ultimately, we want to get to the goal where we are comfortable with a particular virtual assistant and basically getting them to run the entire day-to-day operations of our business. And if we get to that point, we're in a really, really great position. In effect, you can run your business completely remotely without even getting involved with the day-to-day management. So those are the 3 key steps to hiring and recruiting a VA. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are 2 other parts of the series. So part 1 talks about marketing, part 2 talks about recruitment. So I'll include those links in the description, and you can click on the thumbnails there. But otherwise, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you on the next part. Many thanks.